All right, we're talking all things student loans and FAFSA. Kathy Mueller with Mapping Your Future and Betsy Mayotte, the president of the Institute of Student Loans Advisors, are here to talk about all of those things and more. All right, so this question is, I'm 57 and looking to go back to college, but I have a student loan that's in default for about $275. How do I handle that?
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
well,
Both of you can
sorry.
answer that. All right, Kathy, you go first.
okay, I was just going to say that she can't fill out the FAFSA until she takes care of that defaulted student loan. And so I'm going to turn it over to Betsy to talk about some of her options on that.
Yeah, so the two ways out of there's really three ways out of default. There's something called loan rehabilitation where you make 9 payments based on your income. With the amount that this person owes, I suspect they'd pay it off in that period of time. They can also consolidate out of default, but again, they don't owe enough to be allowed to consolidate. So at this point, this borrower would just be best served to just pay that $275 off, at which point then they can go back to Kathy and fill out the FAFSA and be eligible for new aid.
Gotcha. Okay. This person says, I'm a 19-year-old that lives with my grandparents. Who should I be using on my FAFSA?
Okay, so the answer to this question is it depends on their specific situation. They cannot use their grandparents on the FAFSA unless the grandparents have adopted the student. So they need to use their parents, but in some cases, students can't reach their parents. If it is a risk for the student to contact their parents, then they can indicate that on the FAFSA they have an unusual circumstance. It is specific on the FAFSA what those unusual circumstances are, and they do need to fit into that. If for whatever reason they can't contact their parent or the parents just don't want to participate, then they can go ahead and fill out the FAFSA and indicate one, they could indicate that they only want student loans. My suggestion would be to contact the school, college, or university that they plan to attend and let them know that they might have a special circumstance where they can't contact a parent if it doesn't fit into those unusual circumstances. These are the kinds of situations we usually talk to the student through what their specific circumstance is so that we can guide them on what the best next step is. But usually, unless the grandparents have adopted the student, they cannot be used on the FAFSA.
Okay, good information. Betsy, this person says, if you continue to make student loan payments during times of forbearance, do these payments count toward the total payments for public service loan forgiveness programs?
I'm afraid not. During any period of forbearance, making a payment does not make that payment count. What I do suggest for people that are pursuing public service loan forgiveness is to look into a process called buyback. Now, you can't take advantage of it until you have your 10 years of eligible employment, but once you do, you'll be able to go back and buy back these periods of forbearance to get them to count. But paying now is not going to help you at all, so don't do that.
Oh, okay. Good to know. So this next question, Kathy, is why does the FAFSA form start date keep moving? Didn't it used to be in October?
That's a great question. And yes, it did used to be in October, and hopefully it's going to be again in October next year. The reason it was delayed last year was because of all the changes to the FAFSA, and so they delayed it until December 31st last year. It's a similar reason this year. You may have heard of all the problems and the glitches they had last year. Well, this year, in order to prevent some of that from happening, they're going through some beta testing right now of the 25-26 FAFSA. And so hopefully they'll get through any glitches or problems and take care of all of that. And from what we've heard, there haven't been any major problems in the beta testing. So we're hoping for a smooth process with the FAFSA when it comes out on December 1st.
Okay. Betsy, is this a good time to still consolidate loans given the litigation going on concerning repayment options like SAVE?
You know, the litigation doesn't affect whether it's a good idea to consolidate now or not. I will say that most borrowers today don't have to consolidate. Consolidation probably won't give them any benefits. If you have all direct loans and there's no Parent Plus loans, there's probably not a good reason to consolidate in the first place.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so we've got one more segment that we can take your questions, 336-379-5775. Let's take a short break and look at the forecast.